Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. I mean, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, welcome to Talking at 6. I'm your host, 1-6, aka the last one out of Liberty City. Burn it to the ground. AKA why are the youth exploding? AKA this ain't your daddy's quarter life crisis. AKA everybody ska. AKA going nowhere fast. AKA and that's why I stay out of alleys. AKA whoa. AKA underachievers unite. AKA needs more horns. AKA we're all doomed. Yay! AKA times change, but existential dread stays the same. AKA it's not a phase. And in today's episode, I'll be discussing / reviewing the 1998 album Hello Rockview by the band Less Than Jake. I'm just go ahead and put this out there right now. If you aren't a fan of ska, go ahead and skip this episode. Like, I'm not gonna try to make you like ska. I'm not gonna try to make you love it. I'm just gonna give my opinions on this album and tell you how I feel about it and what I think it reflects and what I think it means. And honestly, like, if Sky's your thing, just go ahead and skip it. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of episodes. There's plenty of other episodes. I hope you love them. But in this one, I will be just giving my feelings on this. I personally like this album. I think it's great. It's Less Than Jake's third studio album. And for those of you that aren't familiar, but they're still here, still want to learn, Less Than Jake were the band that did the song "We're All Dudes" from the Good Burger soundtrack. I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes. Hey, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. Yeah, you like that song? That's Less Than Jake. That's Less Than Jake with actually Kel singing on it. That's Kel in character as Ed doing the vocals on that. Also, quick tangent, Kel also did a feature on an immature song. I'm pretty sure it's called "Do My Thing," but he does it in character as Ed from Good Burger, which they also featured on an episode of All That. Immature feature as the musical guest on an episode and all that. And Kel came out in character, like he's switched into his Ed character, into his Ed costume from Good Burger, came out in character and did his verse on that song because the entire verse on that song is him in character as Ed. It's not a Kel Mitchell feature. It's it's not a Kel Mitchell feature on that song by Immature. It is Ed from Good Burger, which is hilarious. Like, you watch the music video, it's Immature all rapping, doing the thing, and then like Ed comes out in his Good Burger uniform, like they're all wearing like black puffy coats, and the video's all black, like and that scene's all black and white. And like Ed comes out in like his Good Burger uniform with the hat on, and then like he flips and like the camera like it like switches and then like he's wearing a puffy coat and he has a beanie on top of the Good Burger hat and he has the puffy coat, like the black puffy coat on top of the Good Burger uniform, and it's hilarious, but it's awesome. Like, it's not even like, it's not done as a joke. Like, not Ed, Kel can actually spit, but I guess technically Ed too, but Kel can actually rap. The guy is really very talented musically. He's really great. But also he does that, yeah, he does that feature in character as Ed from Good Burger, and that was a really great time. But unfortunately, that song is not on this album because that song was on the soundtrack to Good Burger. This episode, we are talking about Hello Rockview, but Good Burger might be a future. Good Burger will definitely be a future episode. Look out for that one, because come on now, man. It's me. I love everything 90s, Nickelodeon, early 2000s. I'll spit about all. I'll talk about all this stuff. How will I not talk? How would I not discuss a Good Burger episode? I love Good Burger. It's one of my favorite movies. It was definitely one of the, like, it was one of the most pivotal movies. Like, I don't want to say pivotal. It's like, how do I put it? It was a major movie of my childhood, and I definitely have to talk about it at some point. But yeah, look out for that episode in the future. This episode, I'm talking about Less Than Jake and their album Hello Rockview, which honestly, I found this album in my like early 30s. Let's say in my early 30s, but honestly, definitely feels like in like mid to late 20s, like existential dread album. Like, it feels like super relatable, like in your mid to late 20s. Like, it's pretty much the whole overview of this album is like, it's growing up and never leaving your home. When you grow up and never leave your hometown and realize it's not the person like who never left their hometown and still loves being there. It's the person who never left their hometown and realized, who always wanted to leave their hometown, but then grew up and never left because they just never got a chance, they never got the opportunity, they never got the right, they just got stuck in a dead end job, they got stuck just doing what they're doing, they never had an opportunity to leave their hometown, so they're just stuck there and living life and coming to the realization of, oh my god, I had dreams to leave this place and it's all horrible, this all sucks so much. It's like, I always planned to get out, I always told everyone I was gonna get out, and now look at me, I'm stuck here, I'm still here, I should have been gone by now, and I'm just miserable about it, and I'm just like, it's not really miserable, but like also just stuck in and kind of dwelling in it and just like accepting the reality that you're in and realizing that, hey, this is why, like, all those people that never left your hometowns, like, oh, all the people you hate that are here, they're like, oh man, how are you still here? Why are these people here? The people that populate your hometown are there for a reason. Like, this is the reason why they're there. They just never left. They just kind of like accepted it and eventually like got beat down by life so much that it's kind of settled into what the reality is and just left there. Like the first song on the album is called Last One Out of Liberty City, and like it literally starts off with Last One Out of Liberty City, burn it to the ground. So those of you who don't know, Les and Jake are from, I want to say, Gainesville, Florida. I know they're from Florida. I believe the town is Gainesville. I didn't do my research fully. I do listen to their music, but I didn't fully look into history. Don't come at me. If it is different, just go ahead. Feel free to post it in the comments. But like I said, I didn't do full research on this. I didn't look up in the history of the band and all this. I'll just put it like this. I like the songs. I like the music they make. I saw them live. That made me a bigger fan of them. I didn't do my research. I just like the songs on this album, so I made an episode. Sue me. Don't sue me. Please don't sue me. That'd be a horrible idea. It'd be a gigantic waste of time for both of us. Like, you gotta pay lawyers, you go to trial, it'd be a horrible waste. I have no money. You won't get anything out of it. It's definitely not worth it. Do not waste your time doing that. But also, check out this album. It wouldn't be a waste of your time. It's a pretty good album. It's a decent album. It's good. That's a lot. It has some good songs. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like, I actually love every song on this album. I like a lot of songs on this album. They're really good. They hit really hard. It's a lot of if you got this far, you have to be familiar with ska or at least know something about ska. And ska is pretty much like, it's essentially punk rock with horns. Like, it's basically like the vibe of like, hey, the world's fucked and everything sucks, but also we have horns, so it's pretty upbeat about it. Like, the songs are upbeat, like the music is upbeat, the tempo is upbeat, the backing tracks are like upbeat, the drums, everything else is upbeat, but the lyrics might be down. Also, sometimes the lyrics are really upbeat, and it's just like, hey, yeah, but the lyrics are really upbeat, and it's like about a horrible time. Like, the last one, Our Liberty City, is essentially talking about like, get out of your hometown, just get out of town, like wanting to get out of the town, how it's horrible, we get it. Those you don't know, Liberty City is the name for Florida. The game Vice City, the game Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Wait, no, I'm tripping. Vice City takes place in Vice City. Liberty City is the name for New York in the GTA universe. This has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with GTA's. Do not get confused by the name. That has nothing to do with GTA. GTA Liberty City is New York. Vice City is Florida. But they are from Florida. They're from a town in Florida, so it's kind of. I mean, let's be honest. It's Florida. No disrespect, no offense, Florida. I love the gold teeth, I love the donks, but I never been. Probably won't go. I don't like humidity. Disney World sounds cool, but I don't like humidity, and I'm not a huge Disney. I'm not super set. I mean, Simpsons, Springfield sounds cool. The Simpsons World sounds cool, but that's Universal. That's not Disney. Anyway, we're not going to dive into that right now. No disrespect, Florida, but I probably won't be visiting you. Like I said, no offense to the people. Florida doesn't sound like a good time. I don't like humidity and mosquitoes or gators. Damn gators. Anyway, the second song on the album is called Help Save the Youth of America from Exploding. And essentially it's just basically just something like how tell me again how it's the same story about growing up. What is it? Fuck, I can't remember. Like, it's just like the same story of growing up. Oh, same story of growing up and getting lost. Basically, it's like basically how like dude told like honestly, I feel like this whole album is told from the perspective of someone who's going through like a quarter life crisis. Someone who's in their early 20s who's growing up, realizing they're sick of their hometown. They're sick of the hometown they never left. They had plans to leave their hometown, but the plans never really worked out. Never really quite worked out. They're stuck in a hometown that they hate. They never got out. They're realizing they're in their mid-20s and they've done nothing with their life and they're still here. And just like how like how this happens a lot, but like basically like kind of jaded and mad about how this happened to them, but also like kind of dealing with the reality of how like this happens to a lot of people, how this is a thing that happens a lot. This is why a lot of people in your hometown are in your hometown, because like they had plans to get out and they just never quite fully made it. It's never quite made it to that level. They never fully like reached the dreams they aspired to reach. They never got to the brass ring. They never fully did what they wanted to do, and then eventually just kind of accepted it and settled and just dealt with it. You know, just accept the fact that they're there. But also, it's like the song is like, yeah, it's this like, but man, yeah, just tell me again how I'm here, how this is a normal thing. But also, like, you know, almost kind of like promoting, telling people to, hey, yo, actually try harder. If you try hard enough, you get there. Because I feel like this overall, like this album is kind of like the slackers anthem. Like overall, it feels like this album had home, it's really home of like you really want to do things, but also like this came out in '98. This is like prime slacker time, like where like everybody had views, everyone had goals of going everywhere, getting out of their hometown and going to big and making it big and doing something awesome, but also kind of when putting the work to do it. This is like the if you haven't seen my, if you haven't listened to my episode, listen to my episode about Mission Hill. Like it's kind of like that whole series, kind of like Andy's whole thing is like he's like kind of a slacker, like how Gen X like really started off as slackers. Gen X was the slacker generation, with didn't really care about anything, weren't gonna do anything, were slackers, but then like as we all can see now at the end, they really kind of like some of them actually really got it together and took off and made it. There's a lot of them who didn't, who stayed slackers, just went nowhere and made it and never made it out of their hometowns, or stuck there and kind of miserable. And I feel like this album kind of speaks to those people who didn't really put in effort, because like a lot of people was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do anything, we're anti-establishment, we don't care, and blah, everything's all blah, everything's mad, we feel nothing, we're the MTV generation, we feel neither highs nor lows, and we don't care. But then there's also the people who like kind of secretly made it out and bought homes and have houses and own their own houses and actually got good jobs and are doing things with their life. And like there's the people who like kind of just didn't do that, or just working like bullshit 9 to 5s. It's part of my friends, but are working like, you know, low end jobs, or just kind of just getting by and still dealing with it, and realize, oh, this is like this is what I call a quarter life crisis, where it's like mid 20s, where like a lot of your friends, but from the perspective of someone who like a lot of your friends got real jobs and they're no longer working just like whatever, just jobs they don't care about, where they show up late and like try to cut out as early as possible. They're working jobs where they actually kind of try and still want to put in a little bit of effort, put in a little bit of effort. Where your friends start, it's like when your friends all start getting real jobs because they like want more money, and like they start getting decent cars and want to live on their own place. They don't want roommates anymore, and because they all like start having friends and getting married. They start having friends. They all start having kids and getting married, and you're still kind of like in that slacker role, like whatever, nothing matters. I'm in my 20s, I'll live forever, and like your friends realize, oh, we're not gonna live forever, and like seriously, we're not different. Like we should have been listening to older people. We should start working towards something, and they start doing it, and you kind of ignore them, and you look around and realize, oh, everybody else started making something out of their lives, and like I'm still at the bottom with nothing, and kind of sad and just like sitting around. It's like, it's what do you do, but also like it's also that perspective, but also mixed with the fact of kind of like in a band where you're trying, like you're still in a band, you're trying to get somewhere, you're still trying to get it, you're still trying to make it, you're trying to make it out as a musician, but also like you don't, because you know you're not gonna do it as a 9 to 5, you're not gonna cut it at 9 to 5, you don't want to be a guy that clocks in every day. Sorry, you want to be a person that clocks in every day and like goes at 9 to 5 you hate, and just constantly grinds it out and tries to make something out of nothing, but you know you really don't want it and you hate it and you kind of hate your life. I'm be honest, man. I'm not gonna go down this rant. I have a huge rant about this. Maybe in a later episode. I'm not gonna go down the ground, but like honestly, like a lot of people who aren't made to like get it out, you know, getting pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. That life's we pulled ourselves up by bootstraps. A life isn't as glamorous as you think. It's miserable. It sucks. No one truly likes it. No one truly wants to do it. You shouldn't want it. You should aspire for more. It just, unfortunately, it requires a lot of effort. It requires work. It requires being, honestly, it just requires like certain people just aren't as gifted as others. Like, and I don't want to say, oh, give those people are just destined to be great. It's like, no, like a lot of it requires a lot of hard work and a lot of like just like self control and will and willpower and just determination, willing to do it. You can pull yourself by your bootstraps. It just really sucks, and then you're gonna be miserable the whole way. And when you finally get there, you don't get a chance. When you finally get there, it's like you can relax. That's right when you're gonna die. Like honestly, like it's kind of miserable. Unfortunately, I gotta put this out there. Disclaimer: I am a slacker. I do have that worldview. If you haven't picked that up by now, maybe this is your first episode and you haven't picked it up. Go back, listen to my old episodes. You'll definitely hit you. You'll definitely know, because that is my entire worldview. That's how I view things. there's nothing wrong with hard work, but at the same time, man, you gotta get through life. I do enough to get through life without being completely miserable at all times. But then that leads me to the song All My Best Friends Are Metalheads, which starts with a sample clip of a speech. I don't know who it's from, I don't know who said it, but essentially calls out how, like, people who the older generations call out like teenagers for being like just burnout degenerates or glue snoofers isn't right in the same way that older generations is essentially like calling teenagers useless slackers is almost the same thing as like the racism of past time, the segregation of calling, essentially calling out people for being, oh, because you're that race, you're useless and you won't do anything, you're slackers and you're burnouts. And essentially it's like, I don't know where the divide happened, but somewhere along the line, like people, teenagers, oh, they're useless, they're slackers, they're burnouts, they won't do anything. It's like they don't want to work, and it's like I feel like that's the divide between Boomers and Gen X, like, because Gen X was the original slacker generation, and the thing continues now. Like it keeps getting passed on down now, but like Boomers, like where your parents were in World War II, you came home, you had to work in the factory, you had to work hard, everything you knew was grind, you were scraping every penny, all you knew was grind, and like Gen X was just kind of like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to run my fingers to the bone every day to just barely be able to get by. It's like, oh no, you're running yourself into the ground, and then you get to retire in a nice house. And it's like, well, unfortunately, as time goes on, you don't get that. Even if you run yourself into the ground, you still don't get that. You can work your whole life. You can work hard every day and try your hardest and just get to the top and try to get to the top everywhere. And sometimes you can make it to like almost the top. You can make it pretty damn high up on the pile and still end up with nothing just because that's the way it is, because like there's too many people ahead in line ahead of you. Like there's nothing left for you. You can work all day. Like, oh, I'm next in line. Yeah, there's nothing left, buddy. Like there's nothing here for you. I'm sorry. Like there's nothing you could do. It's all gone. Like, this whole album like kind of has the vibe of like not wanting to do that, but also not wanting to be like complete burnout in the street and do nothing. Because I feel like it's told from the perspective of Florida, which is like has really high, like Florida, the ball from the Simpsons, it has dizzying highs. It also has crippling lows, but what you aim for is the creamy middles. And unfortunately, we all can't reach those creamy middles, even though they sound really great. Unfortunately, we can't make it. We can't all make it there. But there's another great song on this called Richard Allen George. No, it's just cheese. The guy in the song essentially, don't call me Rich, don't call me George, just call me Cheese. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am, just call me Cheese. Essentially, it's like, yeah, don't call me Richard, don't call me Rich, don't call me George. Like, I'm Richard George Allen Cheese, but don't, just Richard George Allen, just call me Cheese, man. Just call me who I am. Like, I'm just Cheese. It's essentially like a song about, like, oh, yeah, you got his name. I was like, no, man, just call me Cheese. Like, I'm not living like, oh, I'm not Rich. That was my grandpa. I'm not George. That was my dad. Like, I'm just Cheese. It's essentially like making your own identity in the world. Like living and not want to live up to the legacy of everyone else, just being who you are, accepting what you are, what you do, who you want to be, and moving forward on that, and not trying to live up to someone else's legacy. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, I'm named after my dad, my middle name is my grandpa's name, and like I have their last name, and I gotta pass on this family legacy, and there's like a lot of pressure for those people. Like, those people like feel a lot of pressure, and like I have to live up to the standard. My grandpa started a company. My dad worked for my grandpa's company and started his own company that took over the grandpa's company and bought it. So now I have to like you have this legacy of like you have to buy it, you have to build up to that, you have to top that, and you have to outlive me. It's like honestly, it's kind of like the movie Accepted, which I also did an episode on. It's kind of like how the dad in that movie is essentially, you want a good job, you go to college. Like, it's forcing his son to go to college. Essentially, it's like, you go to college because I went to college. I went to college to get a good job. So you want a good job, you go to college. That's just what you do. It's essentially, this album kind of like pokes at that, the like idea of just, that's just what you do. You want to be happy in life, it's what you do. You follow the same path I followed. I went this path, I followed it. But also, it's like, you dive deeper into that, you realize a lot of these people aren't happy. Like, a lot of these guys aren't happy. Like, oh yeah, I have a high-end job at the factory, but you hate your life. It's like, oh, my grandpa worked at the factory for 40 years. Every day in, day out, 12-hour days, never complained. What do you mean never complained? Your grandpa had 10 kids and was miserable. Your grandpa barely talked to your grandma. Yes, grandma. Your grandpa was a miserable man. He worked 12 hours a day, came home, and drank himself to sleep. He didn't talk to the kids. He didn't talk to your grandma. Like, even if he wasn't, like, no offense, I'm saying your grandpa, not saying specifically your grandpa personally, not speaking to anyone's personal experience, but like, even if he wasn't, like, like abusive and like just an alcoholic. Like your grandpa probably hated his life, man. Like he worked really hard to take care of his family, to give them the future they wanted, to give them something they wanted, to give them a future so his kids would have a chance in life. But at the end of the day, he didn't get to enjoy his life because he spent his life trying to make sure his kids had a chance to enjoy their life, which those kids then became the boom. Your grandpa worked hard for his kids to have a future. Those kids became the boomers. They had Gen X. Gen X became, Gen X. Like and I'm not gonna dive into this. This isn't about to get political. I'm just saying, do what makes you happy in life. As long as you're not as long as you're not hurting someone else, just do what makes you happy. Work towards what you want. Don't worry about necessarily like having to take care of everyone else. Don't worry about having to take care of the people after you. Do what makes you happy. Run your own path. And I honestly feel like that's what this album is. This album talks a lot about like it's last one on Liberty City, the history of a boring town. It's like essentially it goes into the history. It goes into like the person. This album is about the person who had dreams to leave their hometown, never did, got stuck in it, just kind of dealt with it. History of a boring town. I figured out sometime. History of a boring town is essentially about how like you run into someone else from high school who like, hey, remembers you. Was like, hey, then you have like you were always the one that had goals. You know, you were somehow you were gonna get out of time. You're better than everyone else, and essentially it's like you run into someone else who's like, yeah, it sucks, huh? They're also stuck in this town. But it also, like, it's almost like the person, like, this perspective of, like, guy goes to a bar, runs to a girl that never left their hometown, but guy who always had dreams of living in their hometown runs to a girl that he went to high school with, who remembers how he always had dreams of living in their hometown, but she also, like, got stuck in their hometown, and so they just end up drinking together and talking about how, like, yeah, how they both just got screwed over by life, how life just beat them both down, and now they're stuck in this town that they hated, that they wanted to get out of, and they had dreams of leaving, but never fully made it out, how they're just, like, living like regular suburban 9 to 5s now. Like, the regular suburban life, you're working 9 to 5, you got kids, you got the house, you got the mortgage, you got the car payments, you're just living the boring life that you never fully wanted, you never really wanted, you wanted to get away from, you wanted so much more than that, but now you're stuck in it. It's the realization of somebody has to live this life. Like the slow realization that not everybody makes it out, unfortunately. Like I had to say, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, like you're not gonna never make it out. Try to make it out, but be clear. Like, accept that you also have to know in the back of your mind. You also have to accept that like there are people that get stuck in. There's a reason why your hometown exists. Your hometown exists because not everyone makes it out. Like, not saying you can't make it out or you're guaranteed to not make it out. Just know it's really fucking hard to make it out. Some people don't, but it's also okay to live that life. You don't have to be sad because you're like, some people are depressed because you never made it out of your hometown. Some people don't. Some people enjoy that life. You really need to be okay with that at the end of the day. Like, you also have to accept the fact that that's also an option. Like, it's not all or nothing in life. You have to accept that there are stages, there are levels, there are like layers of this. Not everyone has to be at the top. You can enjoy being at the middle. You can enjoy being at the middle. Like, you can be at the bottom and still be working away, make your way out top without having to hate everyone there, without having to hate everyone on the way out. But at the end of the day, just accept that not necessarily everyone's going to make it out, and there are some people that are going to get stuck there, and you have to find the happiness in that. And I kind of feel like this album is like I call it the quarter life crisis. Like, it's your mid-20s, it's your mid to late 20s, where like early 20s you're invincible, the world's yours, everything's great. Around 23 to like 25, it starts hitting you. Reality starts hitting you. Like I said, your friends start getting real jobs, and you're still stuck at this dead end job because you didn't really try anything. You realize your friends who also had like dreams of making out with you, eventually you realize, oh, they're not. So they accept that office job. They accept that. Or one of your friends has a kid and has to take life more seriously. Then there's no longer the dream of like, oh, we're gonna make it out making music. Oh, I had a kid. Yo, I gotta get a real job because I have to provide for this kid. I can't just like 100% rely on music. I still want to do this thing, but I also have to accept that like maybe I don't make it out. Maybe this is me. Maybe I do end up as the guy in the office job every day. Maybe I do work in 5 with a tie, but I also make decent money so I can afford a house and a decent car. And I'm like not completely broke and barely getting by. I'm decent living. Like, the middle class exists for a reason. The middle class exists because like there's a reason why the middle class exists. And I feel like God, people are aiming for the middle class. There's no middle class. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to talk politics wise. I'm just saying like, man, not everybody gets to the top. It doesn't have to. You don't have to either be at the very tippy top or the absolute bottom. There is a middle ground, and you can enjoy being there, and you can enjoy life, and you can like enjoy what you do and keep it moving without having to strive to be at the very top. But also, this album is kind of like the acceptance of like, yeah, realizing you're 20, realizing early on in life that, hey, You know, sometimes you just are where you are, and that's where you're gonna get. Maybe you can work harder and get out of there, but also accept the fact that maybe even sometimes you work harder and you don't. That's as far as you're gonna get. Like I realize it's kind of down, but also like I realize it sounds kind of down, like it's kind of sad, kind of depressing, which is also a really great fit for like ska in general because like you actually listen to it and realize like a lot of like the themes and like lyrics of ska songs are really fucking like the actual lyrics themselves are really depressed, but they're sound like they're sung in a really upbeat, happy way, and like the horns make it sound like hey, we're just partying, having a great time, but also like you're saying horribly depressing things and realizing you're just like sad as shit, but you're getting to get out in a happy way that makes everyone upbeat and dance to it, and that's kind of why I really like ska. Like it's like I listen to when I'm up, I listen to when I'm down. Like I'll be down, I'll listen to songs, but like the beat's up, it's upbeat, it's saying horrible things, but like hey, it's upbeat, it's horrible things that are horrible, like sad things that I relate to, but it's saying it in an upbeat way. And like, you kind of put on the happy faces to get through it, but then also you play it when you're actually happy because then you just focus on the happy vibes. Like, hey, I'm having a good time. Yeah, I remember that sad thing I did. Oh yeah, that horrible thing. Oh man, yeah, I'm drinking crazy. I'm drinking, but hey, I'm doing it to get through the day. I'm drinking to get through the day, but I'm still making it through the day. And at the end of the day, you just gotta keep going, man. You just gotta make it. You just gotta enjoy what you have. Be blessed with like. Be appreciative of what you have. You're blessed in some way and use that to keep moving forward. Like I know it's got like kind of weirdly deeper than most episodes do, and sorry for that, but like honestly, like it's kind of what the whole vibe of this album is. And hopefully you stuck through it. Hopefully you like take something away from this in a positive manner. And I'm just really want to thank you for checking out this episode. Please leave a like on the episode if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the page if you want to. Subscribe to the page if you enjoyed what I said, or if you like what I said before. If you want to hear anything else, I have plenty of episodes before this. And continue to like share the page, tell your friends about it, post it on social media. Just like subscribe to the channel. It really helps me. Like I'm really trying to like grow this. I'm sorry I took such a long break. I really want to get more into this one. Do is put these episodes out more frequently than I do, but it's kind of hard. I'm struggling. You know, life is hard. Life is life. Life is life. But I'm gonna try my hardest to get more episodes out, keep more content coming to you, keep more. Just try to also like comment things you want to hear me talk about. Like, comment the things you want. Comment episodes you want. Comment things you want to hear episodes about. Like, if you want to keep this going, comment things you want to hear episodes about. I'll make episodes about it. I don't care. I'll look into it. I'll watch it. I'll listen to it. I'll read it. I read books occasionally, but it's mostly, movies, music, TV shows, video games, but whatever. I'll do almost anything. Not okay. I ain't saying I'll do almost anything. I ain't saying I'll do anything. But I read a lot. I watch a lot of movies. I watch movies. I watch TV shows. I play video games. I listen to music. I occasionally read books. I read comics. I'm into anime. I'm all over the world, baby. I'm all over the place. I'm all multifaceted, as you should be, as all things should be. Multi-interest. Don't put yourself in one corner. Don't lock yourself down in one little box. You gotta be free. You gotta spread your wings. You gotta keep it moving. You gotta have multiple interests and enjoy life. But thank you. I've been 1-6, and see you next time.